Feminism to me is women thinking that they could do everything a man can do. That's what I disagree with.
Okay, so I just want to clarify here. I don't think women do everything men do. Like, for instance, women don't commit 92% of violent crimes. Women aren't guilty of 74% of self-unalivings because that's an incredibly emotional response to external stimuli. Women aren't responsible for higher levels of drug abuse, higher levels of DV, higher levels of gambling, drunk driving, and reckless driving. Women aren't responsible for lower IQ and EQs on average. Women are responsible, though, for higher grades and more degrees. And women are responsible for better performance in many STEM-related fields such as surgery, since they know how to deal with stress and pain better. Even when we do consider the sexual dimorphism between the male experience and the female experience, none of those differences would amount to the claim that men are superior to women, men are better at leading than women, or men would have any clear advantage over women that is relevant towards building a social system as a whole, structuring said social system from the foundation of the patriarchy. All that feminism is wanting gender equality. And I think we should have gender equality. I don't think somebody's gender defines who they are. And I disagree with prescriptive gender norms, because I think that who you are is defined by other traits than what's in between your legs, or the identity that you share in relation to the social construct of gender as a whole.
Well, I disagree with you on the test scores, because it's actually proven that men test better in math and science, which are the two main subjects that we need.
Well, when you have more men entering into math and science, because that's what the patriarchy has dictated to be a field for men, you're more likely to have more outliers on the high end. So once again, that's just another outcome of the patriarchy. When we look at countries that don't stigmatize women entering into math and science to the same level that America does, well, then we see that the gap between test scores in math and science is significantly smaller.
On average, who do you think is a better driver, a woman or a man?
Women.
How many chauffeurs do you see are women compared to men?
Well, I mean, I've only been driven by a chauffeur one time, and it happened to be a man. I'll just accept that more men work as chauffeurs than women, so you could try to make your point, then see how it fails in real time. Go ahead. I accept that more men work as chauffeurs. Where are you going with this?
Women can't follow directions on the roadway as much as men do.
Wait, because there's more men that are chauffeurs?
No, just overall, they're not good with directions.
Wait, so the point that more men are chauffeurs was just completely irrelevant to any argument that you're trying to make?
It's not irrelevant. It's the fact that
Okay.
it's the fact that you're trying to say
So
that.
then what's the relevance of you bringing up that apparently more men are chauffeurs? What does that tell us? Tell me, what does the fact that apparently more men are chauffeurs than women, what does that tell us?
It takes a lot of intelligence to drive cars, and that just goes to show you that men are more intelligent than women, especially with driving cars.
Perfect. All right. So your point is that because there's an listen, here's your argument in a nutshell. Your argument is that because there's an over-representation of one gender demographic in a particular work field, that therefore that demographic is better at performing in said particular work field. That logic doesn't hold up, because there's an over-representation of men in the work field of surgeons. And according to your logic, we would expect the natural outcome to therefore be that men are better at performing surgery compared to women. But that's not true. The American Medical Association did a study on 1.4 million patients worldwide on 6 continents over 14 years, and they concluded that if you're operated on by a woman compared to a man, you're less likely to die as a result of that surgery, and you're less likely to experience negative postoperative outcomes. So just because men dominate in a field does not mean that they are literally better at performing better in that field.
Okay, well, I'm not interested in studies across the globe. I'm interested in studies across America. And me personally, I prefer a male doctor over a woman doctor. That's my personal opinion. Because, in my opinion, men overall, as a whole, are physically stronger than women. Oh, that's obvious. And are mentally stronger than women. 100%. They know way more.
Wait, why are you not interested in studies performed across the globe?
Because I don't live in Asia, Africa, Australia. I live in America. I care about these.
But why does this mean that you're not interested in studies from across the globe? If anything, it just introduces more data, so the outcome of the study would be more reliable. Let me tell you, you were just handing me my argument on a golden plate, okay? The moment that you tell me that that you think men are more rational and intelligent than women, but then you turn around and irrationally reject one of the most sound studies ever conducted, you are just your own counter argument. Clearly, I would expect you as a man, if your point that men are rational to be true, to be rational yourself. But when you just baselessly reject one of the most reliable studies ever conducted that concluded you're more likely to live if you're operated on by a woman, you are demonstrating that you are very irrational. And clearly, you're very irrational because you place a preference on bias and prejudice compared to the facts. You cannot give me a single study ever conducted that has concluded that men are better at surgery than women. I'm not joking. I've been through it before.